Hi! I see you're about to become smarter. This video will help you to improve your English language skills. So let's begin.
Leave. Leave. Leave means go away from. Go away from. For example, she left New York on June 6th. She left New York on June 6th. Lecture. Lecture. Lecture means give lecture. Give lecture. For example, she was lecturing to her class of 80 students. She was lecturing to her class of 80 students. Lend. Lend. Lend means allow someone use of something. Allow someone use of something. For example, Stuart asked me to lend him my car. Stuart asked me to lend him my car. Let. Let. Let means allow. Allow. For example, my boss let me leave early. My boss let me leave early. Lift. Lift. Lift means raise to higher position. Raise to higher position. For example, he lifted his trophy over his head. He lifted his trophy over his head. Light. Light. Light means provide with light. Provide with light. For example, the room was lighted by a number of small lamps. The room was lighted by a number of small lamps. Link. Link. Link means make or form connection with. Make or form connection with. For example, rumors that linked his name with Judith. Rumors that linked his name with Judith. List. List. List means make list of. Make list of. For example, I have listed 4 reasons below. I have listed 4 reasons below. Listen. Listen. Listen means give attention to sound. Give attention to sound. For example, evidently he was not listening. Evidently he was not listening. Live. Live. Live means remain alive. Remain alive. For example, I'll never forget it as long as I live. I'll never forget it as long as I live. Look. Look. Look means direct gaze in specified direction. Direct gaze in specified direction. For example, people were looking at him. People were looking at him. Lose. Lose. Lose means be deprived of or cease to have. Be deprived of or cease to have. For example, I've lost my appetite. I've lost my appetite. Love. Love. Love means feel love for. Feel love for. For example, He loved his sister dearly. He loved his sister dearly. Mail. Mail. Mail means send items by post. Send items by post. For example, if you will mail the coupon, we'll send you a free trial package. If you will mail the coupon, we'll send you a free trial package. Manage. Manage. Manage means be in charge of business. Be in charge of business. For example, their elder son managed the farm. Their elder son managed the farm. Mark. Mark. Mark means stain or damage. Stain or damage. For example, he fingered the photograph gently, careful not to mark it. He fingered the photograph gently, careful not to mark it. Match. Match. Match means make or be harmonious. Make or be harmonious. For example, the jacket and pants do not match. The jacket and pants do not match. Matter. Matter. Matter means be significant. Be significant. For example, it doesn't matter what the guests wear. It doesn't matter what the guests wear. Mean. Mean. Mean means intend to refer to particular thing. Intend to refer to particular thing. For example, I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. Meet. Meet. Meet means come into same place as someone. Come into same place as someone. For example, a week later I met him in the street. A week later I met him in the street. Mention. Mention. Mention means refer to something briefly. Refer to something briefly. For example, I haven't mentioned it to William yet. I haven't mentioned it to William yet. Mind. Mind. Mind means be distressed or annoyed by. Be distressed or annoyed by. For example, I don't mind the rain. I don't mind the rain. Miss. Miss. Miss means fail to hit, reach, etc. Fail to hit, reach, etc. For example, a laser-guided bomb had missed its target. A laser-guided bomb had missed its target. Name. Name. Name means give name to. Give name to. For example, hundreds of diseases had not yet been isolated or named. Hundreds of diseases had not yet been isolated or named. Need. Need. Need means require something essential. Require something essential. For example, I need help now. I need help now. Notice. Notice. Notice means become aware of. Become aware of. For example, he noticed the youths behaving suspiciously. He noticed the youths behaving suspiciously. Offer. Offer. Offer means present for someone to accept or reject. Present for someone to accept or reject. For example, may I offer you a drink? May I offer you a drink? Open. Open. Open means move door or window to allow access. Move door or window to allow access. For example, she opened the door and went in. She opened the door and went in. Organize. Organize. Organize means arrange systematically. Arrange systematically. For example, organize lessons in a planned way. Organize lessons in a planned way. Own. Own. Own means possess. Possess. For example, his father owns a restaurant. His father owns a restaurant. Pack. Pack. Pack means fill suitcase or bag with clothes. Fill suitcase or bag with clothes. For example, she had packed and checked out of the hotel. She had packed and checked out of the hotel. Park. Park. Park means leave car temporarily. Leave car temporarily. For example, he parked his car outside her house. He parked his car outside her house. Phone. Phone. Phone means call someone on phone. Call someone on phone. For example, he phoned her at work. He phoned her at work. Photograph. Photograph. Photograph means take photograph of. Take photograph of. For example, she has photographed all of the major ballet companies worldwide. She has photographed all of the major ballet companies worldwide. Pick. Pick. Pick means grasp and remove flour, etc. Grasp and remove flour, etc. For example, I went to pick some flowers for Jenny's room. I went to pick some flowers for Jenny's room. Plan. Plan. Plan means arrange in advance. Arrange in advance. For example, they were planning a trip to Egypt. They were planning a trip to Egypt. Plant. Plant. Plant means put bulb, plant, etc. in ground to grow. Put bulb, plant, etc. in ground to grow. For example, we planted a lot of fruit trees. We planted a lot of fruit trees. Play. Play. Play means Engage in activity for recreation. Engage in activity for recreation. For example, the children were playing outside. The children were playing outside. Please. Please. Please means cause to feel satisfied. Cause to feel satisfied. For example, he arranged a fishing trip to please his son. He arranged a fishing trip to please his son. Predict. Predict. Predict means say or estimate that specified thing will happen in future or will be consequence of something. Say or estimate that specified thing will happen in future or will be consequence of something. For example, it is too early to predict a result. It is too early to predict a result. Prefer. Prefer. Prefer means like one thing or person better than another or others. Like one thing or person better than another or others. For example, I prefer Venice to Rome. I prefer Venice to Rome. Prepare. Prepare. Prepare means make ready for use or consideration. Make ready for use or consideration. For example, prepare a brief summary of the article. Prepare a brief summary of the article. Prevent. Prevent. Prevent means keep something from happening. Keep something from happening. For example, action must be taken to prevent further accidents. Action must be taken to prevent further accidents. Print. Print. Print means produce books etc. by mechanical process. Produce books etc. by mechanical process. For example, 1,000 copies of the book were printed. 1,000 copies of the book were printed. Produce. Produce. Produce means make or manufacture. Make or manufacture. For example, the company has just produced a luxury version of the aircraft. The company has just produced a luxury version of the aircraft. Promise. Promise. Promise means make promise. Make promise. For example, he promised to forward my mail. He promised to forward my mail. Pronounce. Pronounce. Pronounce means make sound of word or part of word incorrect. Make sound of word or part of word incorrect. For example, Jerry pronounced the hero's name, Cahulan. Jerry pronounced the hero's name, Cahulan. Protect. Protect. Protect means keep safe from harm or injury. Keep safe from harm or injury. For example, he tried to protect Kelly from the attack. He tried to protect Kelly from the attack. Provide. Provide. Provide means supply. Supply. For example, These clubs provide a much appreciated service for this area. These clubs provide a much appreciated service for this area. Pull. Pull. Pull means exert force on to move towards oneself. Exert force on to move towards oneself. For example, he pulled them down onto the couch. He pulled them down onto the couch. Push. Push. Push means exert force to move away from oneself. Exert force to move away from oneself. For example, she pushed her glass toward him. She pushed her glass toward him. Put. Put. Put means place in particular position. Place in particular position. For example, I put my hand out toward her. I put my hand out toward her. Question. Question. Question means ask someone questions. Ask someone questions. For example, 4 men were being questioned about the killings. 4 men were being questioned about the killings. Race. Race. Race means compete with another or others to see who is fastest. Compete with another or others to see who is fastest. For example, the vet took blood samples from the horses before they raced. The vet took blood samples from the horses before they raced. Rain. Rain. Rain means rain falls. Rain falls. For example, it was beginning to rain. It was beginning to rain. Raise. Raise. Raise means lift or move to higher position or level. Lift or move to higher position or level. For example, she raised both arms above her head. She raised both arms above her head. Reach. Reach. Reach means stretch out arm in specified direction. Stretch out arm in specified direction. For example, he reached over and turned off his bedside light. He reached over and turned off his bedside light. React. React. React means respond or behave in particular way in response to something. Respond or behave in particular way in response to something. For example, he reacted angrily to the news of his dismissal. He reacted angrily to the news of his dismissal. Read. Read. Read means look at and comprehend meaning of written or printed matter. Look at and comprehend meaning of written or printed matter. For example, it's the best novel I've ever read. It's the best novel I've ever read. Realize. Realize. Realize means become fully aware of something as fact. Become fully aware of something as fact. For example, he realized his mistake at once. He realized his mistake at once. Recognize. Recognize. Recognize means identify person or thing from having encountered them before. Identify person or thing from having encountered them before. For example, Julia hardly recognized Jill when they met. Julia hardly recognized Jill when they met. Recommend. Recommend. Recommend means put forward person or thing with approval as being suitable for particular purpose or role. Put forward person or thing with approval as being suitable for particular purpose or role. For example, George had recommended some local architects. George had recommended some local architects. Record. Record. Record means set down in writing or some other permanent form for later reference. Set down in writing or some other permanent form for later reference. For example, they were asked to keep a diary and record everything they ate or drank. They were asked to keep a diary and record everything they ate or drank. Recycle. Recycle. Recycle means convert waste into reusable material. Convert waste into reusable material. For example, car hulks were recycled into new steel. Car hulks were recycled into new steel. Reduce. Reduce. Reduce means make smaller or less in amount or size. Make smaller or less in amount or size. For example, the need for businesses to reduce costs. The need for businesses to reduce costs. Refer. Refer. Refer means mention or allude to. Mention or allude to. For example, the reports of the Commission are often referred to in the media. The reports of the Commission are often referred to in the media. Refuse. Refuse. Refuse means indicate or show that one is not willing to do something. Indicate or show that one is not willing to do something. For example, I refused to answer. I refused to answer. Relax. Relax. Relax means make or become less tense or anxious. Make or become less tense or anxious. For example, he relaxed and smiled confidently. He relaxed and smiled confidently. Remember. Remember. Remember means have in or be able to bring to one's mind awareness of. Have in or be able to bring to one's mind awareness of. For example, I remember the screech of the horn as the car came toward me. I remember the screech of the horn as the car came toward me. Remove. Remove. Remove means take something away or off from position occupied. Take something away or off from position occupied. For example, customs officials removed documents from the premises. Customs officials removed documents from the premises. Repair. Repair. Repair means restore something damaged, faulty, or worn to good condition. Restore something damaged, faulty, or worn to good condition. For example, faulty electrical appliances should be repaired by an electrician. Faulty electrical appliances should be repaired by an electrician. Repeat. Repeat. Repeat means say again something one has already said. Say again something one has already said. For example, "Are you hurt?" he repeated. "Are you hurt?" he repeated. Replace. Replace. Replace means take place of. Take place of. For example, Ian's smile was replaced by a frown. Ian's smile was replaced by a frown. Reply. Reply. Reply means say something in response to something someone has said. Say something in response to something someone has said. For example, he was gone before we could reply to his last remark. He was gone before we could reply to his last remark. Report. Report. Report means give spoken or written account of something. Give spoken or written account of something. For example, the representative reported a decline in milk and meat production. The representative reported a decline in milk and meat production. Research. Research. Research means investigate systematically. Investigate systematically. For example, she has spent the last 5 years researching her people's history. She has spent the last 5 years researching her people's history. Respond. Respond. Respond means say something in reply. Say something in reply. For example, she could not get Robert to respond to her words. She could not get Robert to respond to her words. Rest. Rest. Rest means cease work or movement. Cease work or movement. For example, he needed to rest after the feverish activity. He needed to rest after the feverish activity. Review. Review. Review means assess something formally with intention of instituting change if necessary. Assess something formally with intention of instituting change if necessary. For example, the company's safety procedures are being reviewed. The company's safety procedures are being reviewed. Ride. Ride. Ride means sit on and control movement of. Sit on and control movement of. For example, I haven't ridden much since the accident. I haven't ridden much since the accident. Ring. Ring. Ring means surround thing. Surround thing. For example, the courthouse was ringed with police. The courthouse was ringed with police. Rise. Rise. Rise means move from lower position to higher one. Move from lower position to higher one. For example, The tiny aircraft rose from the ground. The tiny aircraft rose from the ground. Run. Run. Run means move at speed faster than walk. Move at speed faster than walk. For example, the dog ran across the road. The dog ran across the road. Sail. Sail. Sail means travel in boat with sails. Travel in boat with sails. For example, Ian took us out sailing on the lake. Ian took us out sailing on the lake. Save. Save. Save means keep safe or rescue person or thing. Keep safe or rescue person or thing. For example, she saved a boy from drowning. She saved a boy from drowning. Say. Say. Say means utter words so as to convey information, opinion, feeling or intention, or instruction. Utter words so as to convey information, opinion, feeling or intention, or instruction. For example, thank you, he said. Thank you, he said. Score. Score. Score means gain, point, goal, run, etc., in competitive game. Gain, point, goal, run, etc., in competitive game. For example, Penn State scored 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. Penn State scored 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. See. See. See means perceive with eyes. Perceive with eyes. For example, in the distance she could see the blue sea. In the distance she could see the blue sea. Sell. Sell. Sell means give or hand over something in exchange for money. Give or hand over something in exchange for money. For example, they had sold the car. They had sold the car. Send. Send. Send means cause to go or be taken to particular destination. Cause to go or be taken to particular destination. For example, we sent a reminder letter but received no reply. We sent a reminder letter but received no reply. Serve. Serve. Serve means perform duties or services for. Perform duties or services for. For example, Malcolm has served the church very faithfully. Malcolm has served the church very faithfully. Shake. Shake. Shake means tremble or vibrate. Tremble or vibrate. For example, buildings shook in Sacramento and tremors were felt in Reno. Buildings shook in Sacramento and tremors were felt in Reno. Share. Share. Share means have portion of something with another or others. Have portion of something with another or others. For example, he shared the pie with her. He shared the pie with her. Shout. Shout. Shout means of person, utter loud cry. Of person, utter loud cry. For example, she shouted for joy. She shouted for joy. Show. Show. Show means allow or cause to be visible. Allow or cause to be visible. For example, a white blouse will show the blood. A white blouse will show the blood. Shut. Shut. Shut means move something into position so as to block opening. Move something into position so as to block opening. For example, shut the window, please. Shut the window, please. Sign. Sign. Sign means write one's name on letter, card, document, etc., to identify oneself as writer or sender. Write one's name on letter, card, document, etc., to identify oneself as writer or sender. For example, the card was signed by the whole class. The card was signed by the whole class. Sit. Sit. Sit means be in position in which weight is supported by buttocks. Be in position in which weight is supported by buttocks. For example, I sat next to him at dinner. I sat next to him at dinner. Ski. Ski. Ski means travel over snow on skis. Travel over snow on skis. For example, they skied down the mountain. They skied down the mountain. Sleep. Sleep. Sleep means be in state of sleep. Be in state of sleep. For example, she slept for half an hour. She slept for half an hour. Smell. Smell. Smell means perceive or detect odor or scent of. Perceive or detect odor or scent of. For example, I think I can smell something burning. I think I can smell something burning. Smile. Smile. Smile means form one's features into pleased, kind, or amused expression. Form one's features into pleased, kind, or amused expression. For example, she was smiling. She was smiling. Smoke. Smoke. Smoke means emit smoke or visible vapor. Emit smoke or visible vapor. For example, heat the oil until it just smokes. Heat the oil until it just smokes. Snow. Snow. Snow means snow falls. Snow falls. For example, it's not snowing so heavily now. It's not snowing so heavily now. Solve. Solve. Solve means find answer to, explanation for, or means of effectively dealing with. Find answer to, explanation for, or means of effectively dealing with. For example, The policy could solve the town's housing crisis. The policy could solve the town's housing crisis. Speak. Speak. Speak means say something. Say something. For example, in his agitation he was unable to speak. In his agitation he was unable to speak. Spell. Spell. Spell means write or name letters that form word in correct sequence. Write or name letters that form word in correct sequence. For example, Dolly spelled her name. Dolly spelled her name. Spend. Spend. Spend means pay out money in buying or hiring goods or services. Pay out money in buying or hiring goods or services. For example, the firm has spent $100,000 on hardware and software. The firm has spent $100,000 on hardware and software. Stand. Stand. Stand means have or maintain upright position, supported by one's feet. Have or maintain upright position, supported by one's feet. For example, Lionel stood in the doorway. Lionel stood in the doorway. Star. Star. Star means have someone as principal performer. Have someone as principal performer. For example, a film starring Liza Minnelli. A film starring Liza Minnelli. Stay. Stay. Stay means remain in same place. Remain in same place. For example, you stay here and I'll be back soon. You stay here and I'll be back soon. Steal. Steal. Steal means take another person's property without permission or legal right. Take another person's property without permission or legal right. For example, thieves stole her bicycle. Thieves stole her bicycle. Stop. Stop. Stop means come to end. Come to end. For example, his laughter stopped as quickly as it had begun. His laughter stopped as quickly as it had begun. Stress. Stress. Stress means give particular emphasis or importance to point. Give particular emphasis or importance to point. For example, they stressed the need for reform. They stressed the need for reform. Study. Study. Study means devote time and attention to gaining knowledge of academic subject. Devote time and attention to gaining knowledge of academic subject. For example, she studied biology and botany. She studied biology and botany. Succeed. Succeed. Succeed means achieve desired aim or result. Achieve desired aim or result. For example, keep trying and you will eventually succeed. Keep trying and you will eventually succeed. Suggest. Suggest. Suggest means put forward for consideration. Put forward for consideration. For example, I suggest that we wait a day or two. I suggest that we wait a day or two. Support. Support. Support means bear all or part of weight of. Bear all or part of weight of. For example, the dome was supported by 100 white columns. The dome was supported by 100 white columns. Suppose. Suppose. Suppose means think or assume that something is true or probable but lack proof. Think or assume that something is true or probable but lack proof. For example, I suppose I got there about 11:30. I suppose I got there about 11:30. Surprise. Surprise. Surprise means cause someone to feel mild astonishment or shock. Cause someone to feel mild astonishment or shock. For example, I was surprised at his statement. I was surprised at his statement. Swim. Swim. Swim means propel body through water by using limbs, or by using fins, tail. Propel body through water by using limbs, or by using fins, tail. For example, they swam ashore. They swam ashore. Taste. Taste. Taste means perceive or experience flavor of. Perceive or experience flavor of. For example, she had never tasted ice cream before. She had never tasted ice cream before. Teach. Teach. Teach means show or explain to someone how to do something. Show or explain to someone how to do something. For example, she taught him to read. She taught him to read. Telephone. Telephone. Telephone means contact someone using telephone. Contact someone using telephone. For example, he telephoned his wife at 9:30. He telephoned his wife at 9:30. Tell. Tell. Tell means communicate information to someone in spoken or written words. Communicate information to someone in spoken or written words. For example, I told her you were coming. I told her you were coming. Test. Test. Test means take measures to check quality, performance, or reliability of something. Take measures to check quality, performance, or reliability of something. For example, this range has not been tested on animals. This range has not been tested on animals. Text. Text. Text means send someone text message. Send someone text message. For example, I thought it was fantastic that he took the trouble to text me. I thought it was fantastic that he took the trouble to text me. Thank. Thank. Thank means express gratitude to someone. Express gratitude to someone. For example, Mac thanked her for the meal and left. Mac thanked her for the meal and left. Think. Think. Think means have particular belief or idea. Have particular belief or idea. For example, she thought that nothing would be the same again. She thought that nothing would be the same again. Throw. Throw. Throw means propel something with force through air by movement of arm and hand. Propel something with force through air by movement of arm and hand. For example, I threw a brick through the window. I threw a brick through the window. Tidy. Tidy. Tidy means bring order to. Bring order to. For example, the boys have finally tidied their bedroom. The boys have finally tidied their bedroom. Tie. Tie. Tie means attach or fasten with string or similar cord. Attach or fasten with string or similar cord. For example, they tied Max to a chair. They tied Max to a chair. Touch. Touch. Touch means come into or be in contact with. Come into or be in contact with. For example, he leaned back so that only two legs of his chair touched the floor. He leaned back so that only two legs of his chair touched the floor. Train. Train. Train means teach person or animal particular skill or type of behavior. Teach person or animal particular skill or type of behavior. For example, the plan trains people for promotion. The plan trains people for promotion. Travel. Travel. Travel means make journey. Make journey. For example, the vessel had been traveling from Libya to Ireland. The vessel had been traveling from Libya to Ireland. Try. Try. Try means make attempt or effort to do something. Make attempt or effort to do something. For example, he tried to regain his breath. He tried to regain his breath. Turn. Turn. Turn means move around axis or point. Move around axis or point. For example, the big wheel was turning. The big wheel was turning. Understand. Understand. Understand means perceive intended meaning of. Perceive intended meaning of. For example, he didn't understand a word I said. He didn't understand a word I said. Use. Use. Use means take, hold, or deploy something as means of accomplishing or achieving something. Take, hold, or deploy something as means of accomplishing or achieving something. For example, she used her key to open the front door. She used her key to open the front door. Visit. Visit. Visit means go to see and spend time with someone socially. Go to see and spend time with someone socially. For example, I came to visit my grandmother. I came to visit my grandmother. Wait. Wait. Wait means stay where one is or delay action until particular time or event. Stay where one is or delay action until particular time or event. For example, I rang the bell and waited. I rang the bell and waited. Walk. Walk. Walk means move at regular pace by lifting and setting down each foot in turn. Move at regular pace by lifting and setting down each foot in turn. For example, I walked across the lawn. I walked across the lawn. Want. Want. Want means have desire to possess or do. Have desire to possess or do. For example, I want an apple. I want an apple. Wash. Wash. Wash means clean with water and soap or detergent. Clean with water and soap or detergent. For example, I stripped and washed myself all over. I stripped and washed myself all over. Watch. Watch. Watch means look at or observe attentively over period of time. Look at or observe attentively over period of time. For example, Lucy watched him go. Lucy watched him go. Welcome. Welcome. Welcome means greet someone arriving in polite or friendly way. Greet someone arriving in polite or friendly way. For example, hotels should welcome guests in their own language. Hotels should welcome guests in their own language. Win. Win. Win means be successful or victorious in. Be successful or victorious in. For example, the Mets have won 4 games in a row. The Mets have won 4 games in a row. Wish. Wish. Wish means feel or express strong desire or hope for something that is not easily attainable. Feel or express strong desire or hope for something that is not easily attainable. For example, we wished for peace. We wished for peace. Work. Work. Work means be engaged in physical or mental activity. Be engaged in physical or mental activity. For example, she has been working so hard. She has been working so hard. Worry. Worry. Worry means feel or cause to feel anxious or troubled about actual or potential problems. Feel or cause to feel anxious or troubled about actual or potential problems. For example, he worried about his soldier sons in the war. He worried about his soldier sons in the war.
Great! Watch again, practice the sound, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button.